I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title of tonight's show is Joining Forces. And the reason why is that there are some very strong planets in a position to do exactly that. Or we could all be thinking about that as well, because there are 4 planets in the cardinal signs. The 4 cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And there's another 4 planets in the fixed signs, and the fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So this is a time when strong forces can join together right now and exert their power in order to do some really productive problem solving and to work on some good solutions right now. And that may be something that you might want to consider this week, because after all, when you join forces, it's a little easier to get the work done, isn't it, when you've got somebody helping you? And the reason that we can be joining forces is because these planets are so strong, but they're working in different ways. For instance, the 4 planets that are in Capricorn are all in only one sign. They are Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, are all there. And in fact, Saturn is at the 29th degree of fate in Capricorn. And there are 2 very good reasons why those planets are so strong. The first reason is because all 4 planets are only in one sign. It means that there are no planets in the other cardinal signs, so they are completely unchallenged. They can really do what they want right now, and they're very strong. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Saturn is the ruler of it. Jupiter is the planet of abundance and goodness, and Pluto rules power and deep truth. So they can really exert their power right now in a way that can be very productive. The second reason why they're so powerful is because they are being well fortified. They're well backed up, and that's because Venus is conjuncting Uranus today in Taurus, a fixed financial earth sign. And those 2 planets are trining the 4 that are in Capricorn, and together those 6 planets are also trining the sign of Virgo. Since earth signs deal in practical reality and good problem solving and using a lot of common sense and being very hardworking, it simply means that very experienced people with a good track record who've been around a long time, can be in a position to produce some good results after doing a lot of problem solving, and they could get a lot of good financial backing for that right now. In other words, it's one thing to have a good idea and work it out and then say you've got a solution, but you probably are going to need a little money to make it all work, and also to test it to see if it works. And I think that's coming up, because Taurus is a fixed financial sign, and Venus rules the sign, and it's there. And that planet and Uranus are trining the 4 in Capricorn. So it can be that the experts right now, or people who are head of organizations, can be joining together, joining forces, in order to do some problem solving and come up with a good solution to a rather large problem that can be facing a lot of people right now. And when they're ready to get really working on it, they, I think, are going to get some good financial backing as well, which is great. But there are another 4 planets also that are very powerful, but they are not working the same way. In fact, the 4 planets that are in fixed signs right now are in a harsh T-cross among the fixed signs, and that means that they're challenging each other. Because you see, fixed signs are fixed. They don't give up. They're very determined. They're wonderful to have around when there is a bad problem, or say when there is a conflict or a war, because they don't give up. So you can count on them to stick to their own point of view. That can be a little bit perplexing at times, but in the end, they're there when it counts as well. And now, since there are 4 planets in a harsh T-cross, it means they're working sort of at cross purposes. So today, the moon is in Scorpio, a fixed financial sign, but it is opposing that Venus and Uranus in Taurus, which is the other fixed financial sign. And together, those 3 planets are being squared by Mercury, which is direct now in Aquarius, and Aquarius rules the future. So because there are planets sort of going against each other among financial signs, it could mean that a financial matter is sort of up in the air right now. Remember, Mercury is in Aquarius, and Aquarius rules the future, and Mercury is squaring all those planets in the financial signs. So a financial problem can be, or not a problem, but a matter can be up in the air, because it could be a question of who pays for what, or how something does get paid. So that's why it's up in the air. But at the same time, there can be a future development of a very important program, and that important program can be on hold. And the reason why is because I think it is not explained well enough. There isn't enough understanding about some new future development of a program that could really offer a good solution right now. And once again, it's because that Mercury is in Aquarius and it's facing harsh squares from other planets. And so I think that people are going to have to simply, these experts, experts speak expertise. It's not the language that everyday people speak. And so perhaps they will have to get together and maybe even have some peer review of their proposal, and then it would have to be simplified so most people could understand it before the money can be allocated to go ahead with the solution. But I think that's possible. It's just going to take a little bit more time to develop everything. But you wouldn't want to be joining forces with somebody else who perhaps is going to put up the money for a good idea of yours and only get halfway through it and run out of money. In other words, it's better to develop everything and be very detailed first so everyone knows how much it's going to cost, and then get the financing and go forward. That would give you a better chance for success, because at the same time, justice can be growing even stronger right now. And that is because that moon in Scorpio, which rules justice, is being trined beautifully by the sun, which is conjuncting Neptune in Pisces. So these 3 planets, which includes the lights, the sun and the moon, are in harmonious aspect to each other. And when Mercury leaves Aquarius, which it will do by next week, and it will re-enter Pisces, then I think that some information about hidden activities behind the scenes will emerge. In fact, I think a well-kept secret will emerge. And when that happens, I think that we will be somewhat dismayed that it is a shameful secret. It's something that you almost wish you didn't know. But we will be able to find that out, because that's the path to seeing that justice is done. And so we have a lot to look forward to in the coming weeks. But this is absolutely a good time to face reality and to join forces with other people who really know what they're doing. Because if you have a goal, it's really better to sort of consult the experts and then move forward. And I think you might be able to do that. Okay, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that you are going to encounter a somewhat stiff resistance right now. And the reason why is that yours is a cardinal sign, Aries, and so is Cancer, and so is Libra. And there are no planets in those signs. And yet, there are 4 planets in Capricorn: Mars, your own ruler, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in Capricorn, which are all squaring your sun sign. And there are no planets in the fire signs, once again. So this is not a time when people should be doing anything impulsive or moving too fast. It's not going to produce anything right now. And also, this is a time when you can be sorely challenged either by the experts or by people who really know what they're doing and they know what they want. And if you disagree, or if you criticize them in any way, you could be jeopardizing your career permanently. And you could also be jeopardizing your public reputation. There's a lot to lose right now for you, Aries, if you go against people who are joining forces and actually trying to solve a problem right now. And you know, they know how to do it. They just have to get together and develop that. And so they may be requiring that you help them in some way, or at the very least you should listen to their good advice, but not question it in any way, because this is not a time to make any comments, either pro or con, Aries. This is the time to be as quiet as you can, because the fire signs have no backup, and you really are facing some pretty strong forces right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when if you've got some money in your pockets, a little extra money to invest in, you could be looking around for people who are really good at what they do and who may have an appealing proposal to present to you. And it could be something that involves good problem solving, and perhaps the proposal could be about a good solution to a problem that's pretty big right now. And you know, you could be interested in what they have to say. For instance, what if somebody wanted to start a company and they were very experienced at what they do anyway, and they just needed some investment to get it underway? You may be very interested in that, and so you could perhaps provide some financial incentive for someone else right now and feel that your money was wisely spent. And I think you'd be right about that. There's also the possibility you could make money by doing that. And so this is an excellent time for you, Taurus, not to argue with people about a financial matter. It might be up in the air right now, but to continue to explore some intriguing possibility, not something that's a gamble, but something where the people involved have a proven track record of success already, because that could be very beneficial for you down the road. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is a time when there at least is one planet in an air sign, and that is Mercury, your own ruler, in Aquarius, and it is direct now. It's going to leave Aquarius by next week and go into Pisces. But for right now, Gemini, it is trining your sun sign, and that is an indication that there can be some news around about a future project that would greatly interest you. And the reason why is that Venus and Uranus are in Taurus right behind your sun sign. You could have been working on a pretty big financial deal or a proposal that was pretty quiet. Maybe not many people know that you're thinking about something that's a little bit pricey right now, but I think you are, Gemini. And there is the possibility that could really work out right now, particularly if the news about a future project is very promising. So I think that you should continue working behind the scenes on something, and even if it's going to cost a lot of money, there is the possibility that given the right people getting put together or working on something, there is the possibility that somehow you could find the money and that it could work out, Gemini. But I would still keep it quiet until a final decision is made. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time when, remember I said, justice can grow even stronger, and that is because the moon in Scorpio is trining the sun and Neptune in Pisces. Well, all three planets are trining your sun, Cancer, and that's good for you because whatever secret comes out, even if it might be a sort of a shameful one, it could certainly benefit you, Cancer. And we have to remember that your sun sign also rules our country, so it would benefit our country as well. So that is the good side of things right now. There's also the possibility, since the moon is your own ruler and it's in Scorpio trining your sun, and Scorpio is a financial sign, that there could be some more money coming your way, Cancer, which is good because I'm sure you'd find a good use for it. But at the same time, yours is a cardinal sign, and all four planets in Capricorn are opposing your sun sign. Just like Aries, you cannot afford to speak out against anything right now, Cancer. So whether you like what the higher-ups or the experts are doing or proposing or not, you really can't afford to go against them in any way because they are so powerful. The planets in Capricorn are well supported by the planets in Taurus, and there's going to be money around for their good ideas. So even if a financial matter is a little bit up in the air right now, or there can be a future program proposal that is on hold, I think you should be as quiet as you can right now and just see what happens. There could be something very good, even for you, Cancer. Or it can be that with an increase in your income or with some sort of money coming your way, you may be very interested in a business proposal that develops and then becomes viable. So if I were you, I wouldn't risk my career or anything else right now, Cancer, by speaking out against anything. Just wait and listen and see what happens. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, there aren't any planets in the fire sign, so this is not a time to take action, because I don't think the fire signs have any backup right now, so they shouldn't risk anything. And remember, your sign rules gambling, Leo, so don't take a gamble with anything no matter what, particularly since you would really lose financially. And the reason why is that Uranus and Venus in Taurus are squaring your sun, so something can be pretty high priced, and a financial matter that involves something pricey could be undecided right now, or it could be sort of up in the air in one way or another. Maybe you don't know enough about the terms, or maybe someone else isn't too sure about what they're doing either. So you should sort of wait and see what happens, and be sure and ask more questions about a financial matter, but try not to commit yourself at the moment. And then also, the moon in Scorpio is squaring your sun, which means that someone else has an idea of how either to spend your money or to have you help spend their money in a way that benefits them. And also, Mercury in Aquarius is opposing your sun sign, which means a future development of a project is definitely on hold right now because there isn't enough clear understanding about it. So I don't see how you can make a move that will benefit you in any way right now, Leo. So instead, I would just be a good information gatherer. You can ask questions, but try not to make any decisions right now, and try not to make any impulsive moves. You would regret it if you did. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when I think that when we're talking about the experts joining forces, you're going to be included, Virgo. How could they pass you up? After all, you're a very good problem solver, and your sign rules analysis and details and facts and accounting and accountability and service to others. So there can be a joining of forces that you are involved with. And those forces could be financial forces, because Venus and Uranus and Taurus are trining your sun, which means there could be more money coming for you soon, Virgo. And then also the 4 planets in Capricorn are trining your sun as well. And that's why I think that people who are pretty high up and very experienced and know what they're doing are going to ask you to join them in one way or another in order to benefit from your thoroughness and your reliability, and the fact that you really can be counted to keep digging and really exploring the facts and the details and making sure that everything adds up. There's always somebody around that's got to do that, and I think that's you, Virgo. So I think that you will be included at a fairly high level in people that are coming together and joining forces to solve a problem that really needs solving. Congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when you can certainly benefit from the fact that Mercury is in Aquarius, the sign of the future, and it is trining your sun. So there is the possibility that you can really be concentrating on a future plan or goal of yours. And you know, there are some things that you just don't know enough about yet to really pursue. Or let me just say that no matter what idea you have, sooner or later, you're going to be involved financially if you're sold on that idea, and you need to be careful about that. Maybe this is not the time for you to actually spend the money, Aquarius, and the reason why is that yours is a fixed sign, and there are 4 planets in fixed signs in harsh aspect to each other. So that sun, or that moon in Scorpio, is squaring your sun, and it's a financial sign, and then Uranus and Venus in Taurus are also squaring your sun sign. you just, either you don't have enough money, or something is too high priced, or things just haven't gelled enough for you to make a solid decision yet. So keep thinking about your future plans, but I wouldn't make a deep commitment on them yet. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Scorpio, this is a time when, yes, justice is certainly going to grow stronger. And that's because the lights are with you, Scorpio. The moon is in your sign, and it's being beautifully trine by the sun and Neptune in Pisces. So very soon, particularly after next week, when Mercury goes back into Pisces and it's direct, as all the planets are right now, there can be a well-kept secret that will emerge. I don't know if it'll emerge exactly next week, but it's coming. And it will involve some sort of justice. And for you, Scorpio, I think it's going to involve a financial matter in one way or another. And remember, because the moon in your sign is opposing Venus and Uranus in Taurus, that a financial matter is up in the air right now. There can be a little bit of indecision or confusion about who is going to pay for what. And that can involve you in one way or another, Scorpio. But that is different than justice being done. Justice is going to be done no matter what, and a well-kept secret is going to emerge for sure. And so if it's your secret, then justice will be done to you. But if it's someone else's secret, then you might be very pleased that it has finally been revealed, and perhaps even a mystery can be solved, which is good. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, remember there are no planets in the fire signs, so it's not like you can just run around and solve a problem right now. This is a time when strong experts need to get together and join forces. So you may be involved, or you may be wondering how a big problem is going to get solved, what the solution really is, for instance. So you should consult the experts. And the reason why it would pay you to do that regarding anything that you're interested in, Sagittarius, is one, the sun and Neptune in Pisces are squaring your sun, which means you could have been misled by somebody who was sort of painting a lot of blue sky and not telling you the whole story about something. That's a good reason to investigate and gather more facts. And the other good reason for you to do that is that all 4 planets in Capricorn are right ahead of your sun sign. And so, you know, they're working pretty hard right now. They could work on your behalf if you are willing to really dig deep into the facts and the details of something. So you should sort of stay by yourself right now and just think about things. Ask yourself if something really makes sense to you, or ask yourself what's missing. Because you may be able, if you dig a little bit, to get those answers, and that would help you in the long run. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when, yes, you can be really in the driver's seat, because all 4 planets in the cardinal signs are in your sign. And that is because Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, your own ruler, are in Capricorn. And now Saturn is at the 29th degree of fate. It's going to move on by the end of this month and actually go into Aquarius. So this is a time when, if you have not already consulted the experts about something, or if you have become an expert on something, in other words, if you have a really good track record for work you've been doing over a long period of time, this is when perhaps you could join with someone else that has some funding capabilities, and you could make a little extra money right now, Capricorn, by developing your talents in a new direction and finding the funding for it as well. So if I were you, I would sort of pursue that a little bit, but you would have to do it by joining forces, and it might be with new people, because it might involve you moving in a new direction based on your experience. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time when you really have to be very, very careful what's going on with the money. And that is because Mercury is in your sign. Your mind could be really working overtime right now. You could be communicating your ideas to everybody, but your sign is a fixed sign. So not everyone is going to be completely sold on your ideas. But I would keep developing them if I were you, Aquarius, because there are going to be some planets moving into your sign, particularly during April and May. And you, even if you have to work very hard, you may have some very viable ideas that other people would be listening to once you're able to develop them further and explain them in a very simple way. And so that is probably your challenge right now. The other challenge you face is that 3 planets in the fixed financial signs are all squaring your sun sign. So I don't think you have the money that you wish you had right now, Aquarius, and you could have your eye on expensive things, but you really have to work for them before the rewards come. And I think you're just in the development and working stage right now. So keep it up. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time when, yes, justice is going to grow stronger, and you could be very instrumental in seeing that that happens. And that is because Pisces is a very intuitive person. They sort of have their feelers out a lot, and they're very sensitive to things. All the water signs are. That's why the water signs rule healing. And so with the Sun and Neptune conjuncting, and Neptune is your own ruler, in your sun sign and trining that moon in Scorpio, it means that there could be more money coming your way in a real estate matter or in some sort of financial matter. That would be great. And also it means that justice could be done through the revelation of a well-kept secret. And since Mercury is coming back into your sign next week, it might be you that is somehow able to have a clue or the missing piece of a puzzle that can explain or reveal a well-kept secret. It might not be your secret, it might be somebody else's. But once the truth comes out, justice will be getting stronger, it will be done, and we will know the truth. And it's always better to know it than to have things hidden. So you could play a part in that, Pisces, if you wanted to. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show and read our blog on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.